And that's all the details we need, y'all. That's enough. That's enough to get the point across. Lines and veils. What are they, why you should know about it, and how they are important for your D&D and RPG games. That's what we're going to talk about today. So I have been learning over the last few months about this because it's very much new to me. And because I've started branching out and playing in more games that are streamed or that are played through groups, communities, and so forth, where everybody is mostly connecting virtually, digitally, through the internet, through Twitter, through Discord, and so forth, these have come more into my focus. And especially, I want to say thank you, of course, to Variant Roles. The Variant Roles community has really been a big part of how I've learned about these and been able to sort of understand the importance of incorporating them into your game and into your groups. And I want to share this information with you in case you've never heard of it. So first, I'm going to answer this question. What are lines and veils? First and foremost. So lines and veils are a concept that helps us to create safe environments for people to role play, for games to happen. So one of the things that I've heard complaints about, one of the things that I know have happened to people is that they've gone into a game and something went down that either triggered them or made them really uncomfortable or was horribly offensive to them or whatnot, and it caused them to possibly never want to play D&D or another RPG again. And that's terrible, and it's very easily avoidable. It seems like this wasn't so much of an issue back in the day. As I've mentioned in the past, if you don't know, I will tell you now, I've been playing D&D for like 35 years. And I know that through the course of my experience, mostly I was playing with other individuals that were my friends. People that I knew pretty well and felt pretty comfortable with. So if a topic came up that was unsavory or risque, for us it was okay because it was a norm within our group to have those conversations and to be cool with those topics. However, not everyone might feel that way. So lines and veils are a great tool to use to prevent anyone feeling uncomfortable, getting upset, and having an issue. Now, what is a line? A line is something hard and fast that should not be crossed. It is a topic that's sort of so outside of what's comfortable and socially acceptable. We just shouldn't go there at all. Generally, they're going to be things like violence. Specifically, not violence. I mean, we're playing D&D, right? We're playing role-playing games. There's lots of violence. Of course there are. However, sexual violence, domestic violence, and violence towards children triggers people. One of those is a trigger for me. In fact, all of them are probably a trigger for me on a certain level. Like, I'm not comfortable talking about those things, I should say, on a certain level. At least not in a game where I'm trying to have fun. Like, that's what D&D is supposed to be all about, at least for me, right? Exploring and experiencing new things and still having fun. Torture is another one that could easily cross the line and make people really, really uncomfortable. Now, mostly this is talked about when we're saying like graphic descriptions of. Like, simply mentioning it, probably not a big deal. But if you're going to go through the gory details, most people don't want to hear about that. So those are examples of lines that you can set up in your games and let everyone know ahead of time so that it doesn't come up in the game. Veils are a little more gray area. Veils are things where if it comes out, it's probably okay to talk about. However, still, we don't necessarily need all of the gory details. For instance, like maybe torture in some level is going to come up in a game that is a veil. Like, we need to get the information out of this NPC or this, monster, and I'm going to beat him up to get it. I'm going to punch him in the face to get it out of him. We don't need any more description than that. That's fine. We don't need all the gory, disgusting details. That might be a veil for some people. Most people, it's going to be a line. Usually, a great example of a veil is more like sexual content. So, look, I'm glad your bard is a great, suave, dashing, and debonair fool who loves to carouse and get his game on. We don't want to hear about it in the game, right? Maybe for a game, for my game or for the games I'm playing, maybe those are those are veils that we don't want to hear about the details. The DM or GM might say, oh, okay, so you go up to your room and get it on. And that's all the details we need, y'all. That's enough. That's enough to get the point across. Beyond that, we don't want to know all the explicit details. Now, okay, I'm going to say, maybe if you're like a 13-year-old teenager, boy, girl, whatever, that's goofy and maybe that stuff will happen, I guess. But as this game evolves, and especially when we're playing as adults, we need to be creating spaces where we respect each other enough to recognize that what maybe is okay for me might not be okay for you. And maybe what's okay for you might not be okay for me, and that needs to be cool for everybody at the table. And so when we establish those ground rules and we establish those things at the beginning of the game, everybody feels better, and everybody is probably going to be more willing to step out of themselves, to step deeper into the roles that they're trying to play, right, in these games. Now, with this, there's one last tool that's super, super important and really ultimately helpful, and that is the X card, or the X card, or literally however you want to do it. It can be like, no, whatever. But creating some signal that everyone at the table knows in the game, that everyone knows if someone throws up the X card, again, whatever it is, it could literally be a card, like maybe it's a Joker card that if you flip it on the table, that means we need to take a break, literally stop things right where we are and we need to have a talk, or at least maybe someone needs to, they need to take a step away from the table for a moment or whatever it is, but we can't let the story keep going on. So that's the X card. That's one of the big things that we hope would never come up in a game, but we're all strange, different, weird beings. We're all human. We all have different stuff. And even though role-playing games are a great way to work some of that out, if we're in agreement that that's kind of what we're going to do, a lot of us just want to blow off steam and have fun and relax. We're not looking for a therapy session. We're looking for just some fun, some lighthearted, silly, wacky, zany, even if it gets dark, fun. We just want to have a good time. And so using lines and veils and using an X card are great tools to allow you to have that happen in your game. And if you, like me, if you have any thoughts or wishes to be on a stream with someone else, whether it's Variant Roles or Encounter Roleplay or one of the other many great streaming communities that are growing right now, these are things that are probably going to be in place, and knowing about it ahead of time is going to help you when you start. So that's my topic for today. That was what I had in mind. I have lots to do. I have a whole bunch of work to do this week, as I've mentioned, because I'm going on a trip at the end of the month, and I've got to be prepared, and I will be prepared. I've already started to plan. I have a really good idea about what is going on and what I'm going to do. So please stay tuned for that. Hey, remember, stay tuned to the end of the videos, because I usually do goofy stuff at the end. Not all the time, but usually I kind of try to, lighten the mood and show you how silly I am, and how usually this takes me 2 or 3 tries to get it right. Anyway, I'm so glad you stopped by today to share a few minutes with me. I appreciate everyone here. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Thank you for giving me a moment of your time. I look forward to seeing you at a table someday. And until then, keep rolling 20s. And remember, it's your game. Play your way. I have just been learning about it myself over the last month or so. And why what I'm about to share with you is, oh my gosh. All right. Woo! Let's take two.